Welcome back to the Heated Waves podcast. I am Mr. Bradley. I'm here with my colleague, my best friend of the show. What up, T-Ball?
What's going on, guys? Glad to be here on another episode of the Heated Waves podcast. Thanks for the likes and subscribes. Today we're going to be talking a little about LeBron James and ESPN's top ranking of the best 74 NBA players of all time. Mr. Bradley, have you seen this thing?
I have. What bothers me the most is the top 10. Why in the world is LeBron number 2 behind Michael Jordan? Everybody gets why Michael's there at number 1. He's the greatest, the GOAT, the best. He set the standard. He was the most popular, you name it. But why is LeBron at number 2? And why is he above some of these other guys that are on the list?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy to me. We have Shaq at 10, Kobe at 9, Tim Duncan
9?
at 8, Larry Bird at 7. We have Wilt Chamberlain at 6, Magic Johnson at 5, Bill Russell at 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar at number 3, LeBron at 2, and of course Jordan at 1. That is via ESPN. That's a little crazy to me. I kind of just wanted to touch on LeBron because number 2 spot is a very generous spot.
Oh my God, yes.
A very generous spot. Because the way I see it is, if you're an LBJ Dick rider, he's either number 1 or he's not on the list at all. Or
Right.
he might make the number 5 slot, most of the people I know. It's crazy to me because this is a guy who's been in the league 16, 17 years, has missed the playoffs only 3 times in his whole career. Kudos to you. But you're talking about his first year he missed, second year missed. And then from there on out, we make the playoffs up until last year. Now, what we're looking at here is after those first 2 years, him missing the playoffs, we go loss to Detroit, lost, and he swept in the finals by San Antonio. Loss. Then he finally beats, in 2012, OKC in the finals after moving to Miami because he apparently wasn't getting done in Cleveland. Wins again against San Antonio, a very good San Antonio team. Stays in Miami one more year, ends up losing to San Antonio that next year. Moves back to Cleveland, where he makes it to the finals against Golden State. He loses. Then finally wins his third ring in 16 in the finals against Golden State. Then he sees Golden State again, loses, sees Golden State again and loses, and is swept for the second time in his career. It just doesn't make sense to me how a guy who constantly fails all the time, like, yeah, he makes it, but he constantly fails all the time. How do we call that greatness? Is scoring a bunch of points considered greatness nowadays? Like, yeah, he has a lot of assists. He has a lot of rebounds. It doesn't mean shit if you're not winning ball games. If I'm a professional pitcher and there's 27 batters and I strike out 25 of them, but I lose every single game, am I going to be considered a great pitcher? I wouldn't consider that to be great. Different sport, same concept. It doesn't matter. The man had 6 straight playoff losses before beating OKC. 13 playoff appearances, 10 playoff losses, 9 finals appearances, 3 chips, swept twice. It doesn't make sense to me. The man's had to bounce around. He couldn't get it done in Cleveland.
You had to get all-stars.
Miami, boosted up his team, got a bunch of guys. He had himself, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Ray Allen. I mean, God, how does it get any better? Then he finally realizes the time is going to be done over there, moves back to Cleveland, finally wins one, been like, oh, shit, this was a poor move.
With another stacked team.
I want to go to L.A. now and stack up over there. The man's ruined the game of basketball. Not only has he done this work, yeah, he's done a lot for the sport. He's had a lot of accomplishments, but those accomplishments don't mean anything at this point. Like, congratulations, you don't get the number 2 spot because you've scored a lot of points
and you failed,
and you've been to the finals a bunch of times. You've been to the playoffs a bunch of times. That doesn't mean anything, people. It doesn't mean a thing. I don't understand a number 2 spot here. Like, congratulations, he's done things fast. Not anything that anybody else hasn't done already or did before you. It's just a crazy pedestal that people put him on nowadays.
It's not like Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan had to earn all this stuff. His time he was in there, you know what I'm talking about? Like the era. The era was so tough, so much greatness from other guys that LeBron hasn't had to face this a lot of the years. But there are some, seasons there were really good teams he played, like the OKC team he beat in that finals. But he had a stacked team too.
That's another thing.
That one had Durant, Harden, Russell Westbrook at the same time, but they were young and they didn't have it together.
And Harden was a 6 man at the time.
Right. He wasn't even the number one guy on the team. Like he
wasn't even a starter.
But where I draw the freaking line of LeBron James being number 2, how can you disrespect freaking Bill Russell? He won 11 championships in 13 seasons, and he's number 4. He's 2 slots behind, like you said, a big-time failure, LeBron. I think this is total disrespect to Bill Russell.
I think it's total disrespect to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Look what they did for their ball clubs in the era that they had to play in.
Or freaking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's the number 1 scorer of all time, for one. Number 2, he revolutionized the hook that everybody uses and implements in their basketball game today. It may not be as solid and as fluent and as slick as looking as his was, but he created that shit. And he only won 1 championship. I get it. He went to 2, but he was facing some tough competition at those times. But I'm just saying, you're going to disrespect guys like we're talking about here. I mean, even Shaq. Shaq's been to like 9 championships. One with the one with the Magic early in his day with Penny, and all those with the Lakers. And they won 5 there. It's just so disrespectful to put LeBron at number 2 when, like you said, he fails. Why is failure being rewarded?
And what I don't understand is a lot of people say when we say he plays in a soft league, he does. I don't understand why their generation, LeBron's generation, all you 20-year-olds who say LeBron's this god, that pedestal that I'm talking about, you guys put him on, is this pedestal you guys put him on as this great god that is influentialized, whatever, done so much for the game of basketball, but has literally done nothing. I mean, yeah, you put on a show, but everything you do is copied. The powder you copied. The number you wear you copied. You're trying to make a movie and copy that
Right.
off of somebody. I mean, you try so hard to be like somebody who's great, but
Like Mike.
greatness has not been achieved, and you've played for so long, and you scored a bunch of points. Congratulations, and you've got there a bunch of times, but don't mean nothing. The game of basketball back in Jordan and Kobe's day was a lot rougher. I mean, I've seen LeBron literally get fouls, and he's not even touched. He flops. You're 6'8", 260 pounds, and you flop? You ever seen Michael Jordan flop? You ever seen Kobe flop?
Nope.
I've never seen a great player flop. Flopping is the new generation of basketball. LeBron James, in my opinion, if we're looking at this list, in my honest opinion, I probably put him just because how quickly he's done the things he's done, even though this is a terrible league he's played in and had to bounce around and do the things he's done, I would still put him at like maybe number 10, number 9, possibly number 11.
Just straight out of the top 10. That's funny as hell.
I mean, he's
It's
just
laughable
played.
at the same time, but it's
He
just,
ran the
I
East
get it.
because he knew he could, because the East was garbage.
Absolutely.
And then when the teams were good, he got crushed by them. I mean, no other great's been swept twice. No other great's been swept.
Well, I think it's just a generation of basketball. Let me try to break it down. Like, I think it's because some of these people that vote for LeBron like this and think he's the greatest, he's this god, he's this praise Allah to some of these people. I think it's because they're so young they didn't watch or get the opportunity, because they're so young, to watch Michael Jordan play, to watch a lot of Kobe Bryant. So all they know is LeBron and how he's had this easy way to the top since day one. And everybody's going to argue that point, be like, no, he's just so good. He made it look that easy. Or, whatever. No, there was no competition when LeBron's last 10 years in the league. It's really been no competition. It's been the same repetitive teams. It's been the Warriors or it's been Cleveland and LeBron and whoever he's drawn over to his club. When he couldn't win it, what did he do? He went and got some big time guys because he can't win it by himself. He couldn't win it in Miami by himself. He could win in Cleveland by himself. He could look his first year with the Lakers.
Hell, even when he
sucked.
plays player coach.
Right. He's the coach.
I mean, what did you say? Well, we both said something. I said he wouldn't make the playoffs his first year in LA, and you said what?
I said he'll lose 50 games. And he lost, I think it was like 54 or something like that, and they wouldn't make the playoffs. I mean, look what he had to do to turn this. If there wasn't a
he traded
COVID-19,
everybody away.
He got all these good players. You got Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard, you got Danny Green, you got Rondo.
That's what's even worse about it is he's not only the player, but he's like the general manager and the coach, and he still can't do it.
Right. He wants to take so much control. It's just number 2 is the most disrespectful. Like you said, I think he should be pushed. Look, I'm not saying LeBron's not great. He's a
fantastic basketball player.
He is, but he's not on this level of number 2. He's had the easiest. Imagine if him and Jordan switch spots. He's not top 5 in my opinion because of certain aspects you have to have. One, you need to have more than 3 rings if you're going to go. If you go 9 times, in my opinion, if you're the greatest and so good like they talk about LeBron, if you went 9 times, you should win at least 6 of those. At least 6 of those championships. Cool. He won a bunch of times. There's been other guys who won a bunch of times, but guess what? They also won. And that's what greatness is. That's what you don't get swept, especially not twice in the finals.
I just don't call when you have a history of losing more than you do winning good.
It's the Heated Waves podcast. We got into LeBron talk and in the NBA's most disrespectful top 10 greatest of all time players. Tell us what you guys think. If we're just dead wrong, or if you agree with us. I think T-Ball, you had some damn good, stats and facts to bring up here today about LeBron, and it's changed my mind a lot. So I appreciate it. I'm Mr. Bradley. Thank you, T-Ball.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for tuning in to the Heated Waves podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bring some more stuff to you here soon. Mr. Bradley, thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely, man. And thanks, guys, for sticking it out with us in the COVID-19. It's still going on. We'll be back soon with our regular show, side by side, baby. Peace out.